Hello. I'm going to do this session on focusing on the glutes. So I've had a few people say that they've been having issues in their hips and things, and been told that perhaps their glutes aren't firing, which of course can happen for a lot of reasons, but it means if the glutes aren't doing their job, then something else is doing the job that shouldn't be. So we'll kind of look at just letting things release and then getting the glutes to do some work. So it should be a little bit of fun. So be curious, and it's really not about just sort of doing these exercises and your glutes will be good. It's about really encourage you to make the movement small for a start, and really notice what is happening for you. Notice if when you're trying to lift your bum, you actually clench your jaw or hold your shoulders or anything like that. So the more you become aware of what your movement patterns are, the faster that you will be able to make things change and make progress. So what I have is a small dog. You can have one of them if you like to practice. We'll hope that she just goes and lies on her little blanket beside. But I have just I think you might only need one block. I've got 2 blocks here and a strap. So, and we're just going to start with lying on our backs with this block. So Lola Bean is just going to pop off to her blanket like a little good yoga dog. She just lick me a little bit first. Go down on your bed, Lola Bean. Lie on your bed. And so I'm going to take this block, and I'm just actually going to start on the lower side. So first of all, just feel your back body on the floor. Notice which parts of your body touch the floor, where you feel pressure. Notice your feet on the floor, where you have pressure on your feet on the floor. You don't need to have any, just notice. Notice your breathing. And then we're just going to lift your bum up. I'm just going to put the block on the lower side. So obviously if you haven't got a block, you can use a book or something kind of flat and rectangular-ish. So now just notice what you feel. Do you feel any tension in your this lumbar spine area, this lower back, or wherever? I'm going to turn it up one height higher. You don't need to do that, but you could try that. So if you have to lift your heels up or anything like that, then don't lift the block up higher. If you just lift your bum, I've got the block across the sacrum, so it's not above on the lower fleshy parts, on the back of your pelvis, this big nice bony pelvic rim, and across the sacrum, which is the little bit that comes at the end of the spine that sits inside the big pelvic bones. So that's supporting the sacroiliac joint. So now we'll just notice what you feel. So let's have a few breaths here. Just noticing the quality of your breath. Now I'm going to just bring one leg forward, so the pelvis stays still. I'm not rounding my lower back or anything, so I'll just do it how I want you to do it. So just bring that leg forward just as far as it wants to come without the pelvis shifting, and hold behind the knee, and then just lengthen the other leg out. So notice as you lengthen that other leg out, are you automatically tensing your toes? Don't need to. You can lengthen through the heel without keeping the toes relaxed. Just gently bring that leg towards you. You might work with your breath a little bit. Inhale, the leg comes away. As you exhale, you draw it in. So we're not holding the back rigid, but we're just not rounding or moving the back. The pelvis stays still, the leg comes forward. And then we'll swap to the other side. And back to the first side. So you can again lengthen the leg, just lengthen through the heel. So I'm not drawing my toes towards the shin. They do come towards the shin, but actually lengthen through the Achilles and the end of the calf. And then we'll go the same on the other side. So we take the foot out, keep the toes themselves relaxed, bring lengthen the heel away. Good. And now I'm going to put the feet on the floor. Just lift the block out and pop it to the side. So now we're going to do the ones very understated, but just very valuable. So butterfly. So this is about releasing your hip flexors. So most of you will be familiar with it. So elbows on the floor and fingertips just inside these front hip bones. So that's where the psoas and the other hip flexor group run through. So they are the ones that bring your leg forward. So just do that, bring a leg, see what those muscles working. And now we don't want them to work. So you're just going to gently roll out the knees apart from each other, just going as far as you can without those hip flexors wanting to come on. So they just need to relax. So, and if their heels don't slide or anything, your feet just roll towards the outer edge and they come back up to here. So you might, if you feel the hip flexors grabbing, I really encourage you to slow the movement right down and just go a little way until they're soft. The hip flexor group, psoas and its mates, are the ones that like to take over lots of jobs. So nice and quiet. And just really notice if that's what's happening for you, if they are working, then that's just something for you to do quite a bit of work on letting them release. So now we're going to go one leg at a time. So I'm going to keep my left leg just up, and then just take the right leg out. So neither hip flexor, again, needs to work. So outer hip, controlling the leg going out, and these inner thighs, adductors, drawing the leg back up. So just a couple of times on that side. Both hip flexors relax, so this one doesn't need to grab either. And now the other side. So again, both hip flexors stay soft, and you're keeping your jaw relaxed, shoulders are relaxed, feet are soft on the floor. So again, notice, because a lot of people hold tension in their toes, so it's not really necessary. Just want to keep as much of the body relaxed as we can. So you can't really see me doing that, can you? I'm bring around this way a little bit. But now we're going to add another movement. So this leg goes out to the side. Now just lengthen the heel straight forward. So hip flexor relax, roll the leg up, now hip flexor works. So we're getting the hip flexor to relax, outer hips working. Slide that leg out, roll it up, now hip flexor works. A couple more times. And now go other side, come back a wee bit. So let that leg go out, lengthen it away, up, back up. One more time like that. Now I'll just come back onto my mat. Come a little closer. So I'm going to have my block and my strap just beside me. So first of all, just lying down, legs bent, feet hip distance apart, so heels are kind of in line with the sit bones. So there's all the bony bits on the bottom of your bum. Now feel the feet on the floor. So we want to keep the foot kind of soft on the floor. So we're going to, and when we lift the bum up, just imagine, just take your attention to this top of the thigh, where the bum and the thigh meet. And you're just going to lift from there. So without digging your heels in and lifting your toes up to lift your bum up, just lift your bum. And that works, we're not rolling the tailbone or rounding the back first or drawing the belly in. We just hips and rib cage kind of move together. Rib cage rolls over the top of the shoulders. Feet stay soft on the floor. So you can just keep the arms out, arms stay relaxed. And then just notice what you feel working. But one more time without anything. If you start to feel it in your lower back, then don't go so high. So we want to try and, you do use those lower back muscles when you go into an extension, but we don't want them to be the main drivers of the motion. We're trying to get these glutes to do it. So let's, now I'm going to pop a strap around my mid-thigh. And just throwing the strap up so that there's a bit of tension there and the legs are still hip distance apart. So now I want you to draw your, just a little bit of tension, so you're using a bit more outer leg. Draw the legs out into the strap. And same thing, let's just go up. And just notice if you notice a difference. So we're just bringing a little bit more leg action in. We're still not digging the feet in. Just feel the feet soft on the floor. Across the toe mounds and the centre of the heel. Same energy in both feet. Go one more with just the strap. And now let's just pop the strap off and we will use it again. So we're going to pop a block in, so whatever you've got, like a block. So I'm just putting, might put narrow through the hips, so I'm just putting it in that way. Some of you might prefer to put it that wide away. So I'm just going to put it like that. So it still keeps my knees about hip distance apart. So again, you'd have it wider. And now we'll just see what we feel. So again, just, you're just gently holding the block, not squeezing with all our might, just holding the block, using a little more inner leg, still using the glutes. So just notice if those glutes, in that bum crease area are working. Arms relaxed, jaws relaxed, eyes are soft. And now let's pop the strap back on. So keep the block in there. We'll just do a few with both. So feeling the feet on the floor, back of the head, shoulders, arms relaxed, feet soft. Use the bum. So lift and think of the rib cage rolling over top of the shoulders. Rib cage and hips sort of working together. Let's go 2 more. And down. So now we'll take the strap off and the block out. We're just going to still do that same movement. We're going to add a little arm movement. So that, sometimes what goes on if you're holding so much tension in your shoulders, you're not letting your glutes work. So just, be curious. So if you're really tight and shoulders hold a lot of tension there, they do kind of work together. So you're going to take your strap, pop it between the hands, arms are shoulder distance apart, and just keeping the head and throat soft. For a start, just lift the fists up towards the ceiling. So we're protracting and retracting the shoulder blades. Shoulder blades sliding away from the spine, coming back to the spine. Just a couple of these. So just notice how much movement you have in your shoulder blades. Are they stuck on your back or are they moving freely? And now just bring them to a neutral position and we're going to add the arms over the head, lifting the hips up. So you're just going to inhale, lift the hips up, the arms come over as far as they're going to go over. And then exhale down. So just keep the movement nice and coordinated. So you start taking the arms over, you start lifting the hips. When the hips are up as high as they come, the arms are over. And so now we gently come down, trying to keep the movement even. Feet relaxed on the floor. a bit wobbly. And now it's getting cramp. Oh. Just got cramp in my hamstring. So I'm just going to let that relax. Happens to the best of us. And now bend that leg up again. I'll go one more. Good. And then pop the strap aside. And then we're going to change, actually we're not going to change positions, we're going to come back there again. And we've got one more going here. So now this is one, just play, so let the hamstring release again. So you do use your hamstrings as in that back chain when you're doing a back extension, using your bum and coming into extension, like so. So now we're going to just start doing a bit more of one leg. So you're going to feel the feet on the floor. And you're going to lift the hips up. I might just come around really so you can see me a bit better. And you're going to lift your hips up. So we're just trying to keep the arms relaxed and everything. Now I just want you to come up on the, lift the heel up. So just come up on the toes. So you're just starting to take more of the weight in one leg. So just hold that there. And bring that one down. Take the other one up. So we want to still keep the pelvis level. So you're not letting the bum drop as you bring the weight more into one foot. Let's go one more time each side like that. So just coming up, heel comes up off the floor. You're not pressing the toes into the floor, the same even pressure. Same on this foot or the grounded foot, not really digging it in. And then just bring the bum down for a little bit and notice what you're feeling. Are you starting to feel it in your lower back? If you're starting to feel it in your lower back, then probably keep your bum a little higher. Don't come up, you know, just we want to work so we make progress rather than just build tension. So now I'm going to just come up again and trying to keep the arms relaxed so they're not digging in. You're not holding your shoulders, bracing your jaw. So I'm going to just come up onto my left toes again. And then if you can just bring that leg up. And now we're going to go down and up. Trying to keep the arms relaxed. Notice where you're putting the pressure on your foot on the floor. Definitely got a bit more weight through that foot. Let's just go one more. Put the foot down and we'll lower the hips to the floor. Just have a couple of breaths and then we'll go to the other side. So bring your hips up. This is my weaker side, the side I've had my hip replaced on. And it's been hard to get it as strong, back as strong again. So I'm just working on trying to keep the hips level, not dropping that hip to the floor as I bring that leg up. So again, if you bring that leg up and it's just too much and you're just gripped everywhere, then just go back to bring the toe up, maybe bring the foot off a little bit. So small steps. And I notice I have, so I take the bum down, lift it up. Trying to keep your arms relaxed, jaw relaxed. One more. And then bum down, flip down. So notice if you immediately want to bring your knees up, then you've been probably using more lower back than you needed to than glutes. So just keep the movement a little bit smaller. Take a back step. So now we're going to roll over on us. Nice. And see me? He's been cooperative little doggy lying on her bed. So I'm going to stack my hands one on top of each other, so I can just put my forehead down. So that's how you can do it. You might want to look first, and I might keep my head up a little bit to chat. But I'm going to keep my hip bones on the floor. This is about just legs, so I'm not rolling it over side to side just to get a bit more lift in the leg. It is all about just lifting through this back here. So keep the legs quite long, getting cramped in my foot, left foot now. And we're just going to lift from here. So let's just go 8 on this side. So right side first, and just lifting. 2. You can keep your forehead down if you like. So again, just notice you're not pushing your fists into the floor, your arms into the floor. It's just this glute area. And we're not doing it so much that we really press our bellies into the floor, really just try and let it be a lift. So you might even not even barely get your foot off the floor. Maybe it's about 8, lost count. So I'll go 8 on the other side. So hip bones stay on the floor. You're not pressing your hands down. Trying to notice if you're bringing it into your shoulders. Just try and let that go. And the other leg doesn't press down into the floor. You're just lifting from that glute. From the smile of your buttock. It's always an interesting one. Lost count a bit, but I'll do 2 more. Good. And now this one is a really good one for getting cramp in your hamstrings. So let's try and, I'm just going to woggle my legs out a little bit. Just rolling side to side. And now I'm going to take my right leg up. I'm just foot soft, got foot flex, but it's not, cranking, I'm not drawing my toes down or anything. It's the same movement. So I'm just thinking of just lifting that foot up. But again, we're not rocking the pelvis. Haven't got my knee out to the side. The knees are still straight back out of my hips, close together. One more. And then release. Now other side. So foot flex, leg bent, hip stay still. Just sort of pushing that foot. I'm still really thinking about lifting from that bum crease. The foot's just there, just bent my legs, a slightly different shape till we did it before. Knees still go straight back. Try not to dig the other leg into the ground to help press off. Just use those bum muscles. There we go. Good. Now I'm going to come up to hands and knees. Just reconfigure my ponytail. So if this is hard on your wrist, we won't just pop some. If it being on your wrist is hard, we won't be there that long. Pop something under the base of your wrist, even your strap. So if you find it hard to have your hands down like this, just lift them up a little bit. And that's another thing we can work on is a lot of that is one wrist, but it comes a lot from your shoulders. So we're going to start with hands underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. So we're just trying to keep this trunk in neutral. I'm not bracing through my belly or anything holding. I just want to let my core respond to the movements I'm going to do with my arms and my legs. So I'm just, for a start, let's bring the right knee forward and my left hand is back to there. And then I'm just going to lengthen them away as far as they go without dipping down or anything changing there. So let's just go 5 on that side. So we could stay here and we could do this here. But we won't do that this time. I'll hold back. So that must be about 5. There's any number of things we can do. I will limit myself. So now the other side. So keeping the head relaxed, not bracing, not pre-bracing with the trunk. Just let the core respond to you lifting your left leg towards your right hand and then just moving them away. And same, if you're tight through the shoulders, you might not get your arm up to beside the ear, because we don't want to do it so you do the big dip, because then the movement's not happening where we want it. It's happening through, mostly through your lower back. So you know, if you're here, you're here. And then you can, you know, do some more. That's got to be, we'll make that the last one. Good. And now we're going to come up to standing. Pop your, if you've got blocks, just pop them out near the front. We might not probably use them. So we're just going to come to standing. And we're just going to do like a little lunge. So put that out of the way. So just stand with your feet hip distance apart. Feel the feet on the floor. And then just bend at ankles, knees and hips. So make sure the bum's going down towards the heels. You're not just taking the hips forward. So bum goes down towards the heels. So if you, even if you put your hand here now and you lift up, you feel that the glutes are doing that job to lift you back up. So we're just going to bend a little, now come into a little lunge. So I'm going to lift my left leg up and go as slow as you can. Take that leg back. And then just come down a little bit. Now think of drawing your feet, just notice what you feel now. Now draw your feet towards each other on the mat, and you might feel the whole back chain work a bit more. So let that go, just have the feet on the floor, feel what you feel, and now draw the feet together on the mat. So just try and keep that a little bit, and we're just going to do a few little twists. So you're going to have your hands together, and then we're going to turn, so this hip bone, left hip bone stays where it is. This is just through the centre. So let's go 5 like that. Palms together, turn, arms apart. Palms together, hips stay still, twist through the centre. Right arm back, left arm forward and back. Still drawing the feet towards each other on the mat. One more. And then come forward. And just step that leg forward. Feel both feet on the floor. Maybe if I turn around a little bit. Feel both feet on the floor. And then bend at ankles, knees, hips. And now we're going to take the right leg back. So I'm bringing all the weight onto my left side. Knee goes straight forward. Slowly back. And just a little, just keeping a little light lunge. So we're bending, it's a little bit of a squat really, isn't it? A lunge squat. Feel what you feel. Then draw the feet towards each other on the mat. You feel the whole back. Hamstrings right up into your butt. Work with a bit of luck. So again, now palms together. This, got my left leg forward. This right hip stays where it is. Hip stay facing the front. And then turn through the centre, arms apart. I think basically, you should never lose an opportunity to do a twist. And you won't know, so as we turn, this front arm, the shoulder blade draws away from the spine, the back shoulder blade comes towards the spine. Back to front. Go 2 more, still drawing my feet towards each other on the mat. And then come forward and step that right leg forward. Feel both feet on the floor. And you're still keeping relaxed through your jaw, shoulders. And then bend the knees again and come into another little lunge. And now we're just going to, you can keep your hands on your hips. Just going to bend that leg down a little bit and then just straighten that leg back. Bend it down, straighten it back. You can take it down as low as you like, just not right to the floor. There we go, won't overdo it. And then step that leg forward. Now let's go other side, so bend And I'll take my right leg back. Come into our little lunge. Let the back knee come nearly to the floor and press it back. You can still work on that, bringing your feet towards each other on the mat. And feel that back chain, back hamstring, calf even work. One more. And then step that leg forward. Right, we're going to go back to having our strap and block. So I'm going to put my block just between the thighs and do the strap up. I'm not going anywhere with it, so that doesn't matter if that dangles, I'll just wind it around. So again, we're just going to do a bit of that work of working the legs on all sides. So I'm just gently holding the block with my inner thighs. I'm not squeezing with all this might, I'm just holding the block. And then I'm also drawing out my thighs out into the strap. So kind of working the legs on all sides. And now, again, we're going to squat. So if you have a tendency when I say bend at ankles, knees, hips, just take the hips forward. You can get a broomstick or something, stick it across the front of the hips. I just sort of put my little finger in the hip crease. So feel the feet on the floor, base the big toe, base the little toe, centre the heel. And then just squat down. And just stop, you know, when you lose the mobility in one joint. Stop and come up. So I'm taking my trunk slightly forward and then back up. So think of you go down and you lift up from bum crease. So try not to dig the heels in, keep the feet soft on the floor, just feeling the base of the big toe, base of the little toe and centre of the heel. Let's do two more. And then we're going to do a little sequence. And come up. Good. So now we take this off. Pop it to the side. We're not going to use the blocks. So just stand near the front of your mat with the feet hip distance apart. And we're going to go, I'm going to use my right leg first. So for some, I'm just keeping my pelvis, trunk facing straight forward. Just going to soften the ankle, knee, hip a little bit, lift my right leg up and just tap it back. One more time. Now I'm going to bring it up, turn the hip out, so trunk will stay still, foot comes to inner leg. Now I'm going to bring the leg forward, bend, and go back slowly into a little lunge. And just bend the knees, take the arms out to the side, rotate, bring the palms together, come down, and a little twist over the front leg. And then come back to the front, step back forward, bring the leg up, turn it out, and figure four. So just bring the leg to where it comes to without you having to twist your pelvis. We're staying the same length from hip bone to rib cage, and then bum down and up. So we'll do 3 of these. So just making sure, we'll just notice, so moving that range of motion that you just keep going straight forward and then up. And then take the leg off and pop it down. Have a couple of breaths. So it's probably hard to follow first time. You could always watch it, then do it, or just give it a few goes. So again, just softening it, thin ankles, knees, hips. I'm keeping the trunk facing straight forward, lift the left leg up. So just as far as it comes without rounding the back, step it forward. So trunk stays still, just the left leg moving. One more. And now bring the leg up, turn it out. Just it's a little tree pose. So bring the foot in, trunk still quietly facing straight forward, same distance from hips to ribs. Bring the leg forward and then slowly step back to a little lunge. Just bend that knee down. Take the arms out to the side, rotate, reach up, palms together. Hip bones, left hip bone stays where it is. Turn, twist. Come back to the centre. Come up. Bring that leg forward. Turn it out. Figure 4. So again, the hip stays still. Bring the ankle across. May not come above the knee. It might be down here. And try now, bum, sit bum goes down to the heel and come back up. Sit bum goes down, come back up. One more. And back up. Take the leg off, come to Tadasana. Let's go one more time, each side. So feel the feet on the floor, and with the eyes, with the balance, just try and keep the eyes sort of looking from that outer back place, and the eyes stay nice and soft, looking at one area, not looking all over the place. So feeling the feet on the floor. Go right side first, so trunk stays facing straight forward, just right leg, lift the leg, tap it back. Lift the leg. One more. Now bring the leg up, turn it out, a little tree, foot comes to inner leg. Bring the leg forward, bend ankle, knee, hip. Start going back, so you can do anything here, you can lengthen it up, take it back. Come into your little lunge. Take the arms out to the side, rotate, reach up so you can draw your feet together on the mat. Bring the palms down, turn, hip bones stay facing straight forward. Come back to the front, come up, step forward, figure 4, so turn the leg out, so just the leg moving. And then squatting down, so sit bone goes to heel, come back up. And then place the foot down. And last side, feel the feet on the floor. And then trunk stays still, just bring left leg up, tap it back. One more time, so bring it up, turn the leg out, bring the foot to where it comes to on the inner leg. Bring the leg forward, bend, and then slowly going back, just keeping all the side in line. Go back to your little lunge. Take the arms out, rotate, reach up, palms together. Elbow stays facing straight forward, twist. Come back to the front. Come up, step that left leg forward. Bring it up, turn it out, figure 4. Now sit bone to heel, lift up through the bum. And then foot aside and release the arms. Good job. Let's come to lying down, so just a little couple of releases. Just lying down on your back. And I'm going to lengthen my left leg out and just bring my right leg up. So again, pelvis is still not rocking back on the pelvis. Just bring the leg in. And then we'll add a twist, so right arm, and just think right shoulder is relaxed on the floor, not lifting the shoulder up, it stays there, and then twist away from that shoulder. So you're just twisting through the middle as far as you go. And you can breathe with ease. I put my hand underneath the leg sometimes or over top, just see how that feels. lengthen out the right leg, bring the left leg up. And then releasing the left arm to the floor and twist. So this side I do put my hand underneath because so I've had my hip replaced. You're supposed to let the hip go across the centre line. Pop out, which would be a bit embarrassing on video. And then back to centre. And we'll give it a little glute. So we're going to come into that figure 4 position. So if you find when you bring your leg up and turn it out and take the heel across, you have to lift or hop your bum around, just take that other leg further away so it's not so far to come. So it's just really nice if we are working on our hip and everything. If we lift our bum and everything, we're just getting out of whack. We're compensating and doing it through the middle and through the lower back. So bring the right leg up, just turn the leg bone out and the hip joint, take the ankle across, and then just bring the legs towards you. So again, I'm keeping my pelvis on the floor, so it's hips. I'm not totally rounding out through my back and pressing the lower back into the floor. So I'm just holding the other left behind the thigh. And then we'll go other side, so take that leg off, bring the other leg up, turn it out, take the ankle across, just keep the pelvis down so it's just your leg bones coming forward, and now hold behind the right thigh. So if you find you have to sort of arch up through the, bring the shoulders off the floor, the back of the neck to hold the thigh, either just take your strap or just hold the front of your pants. So just keep this area nice and relaxed. We don't want to bring tension into other areas to work on some other area. So as much as you can, just let everything else relax. And then release. And we'll come into happy baby. So the knees come up and the knees come apart. So it's like you're bringing the inner knees down beside the outer ribs. And again, the pelvis stays on the floor. We're not rocking our bum right up off the floor. Just draw the inner knees towards your outer ribs. So, I mean, you can bring your legs up and then move the hands up, and some people hold their feet. But again, if you do it by bringing your head and everything up, there's no point, really. So I just like to hold here. And then we're going to lie out in Shavasana for a few minutes, couple of minutes. So if you feel your lower back, you could pop something underneath your lower thigh, so you've got a little bend in your legs, just to help your lower back soften and relax. If you're happy to have the legs straight out on the floor, have your legs straight out on the floor. Take the arms out to the sides. And same if your head is back, if your forehead is back and your chin is up, you just got scrunch up in the back of the neck and top of the shoulders, pop something under your head. And then just feel what you feel. Notice what you notice. How's your breath? going to start coming out. Just bend my legs. Bring awareness back to my breath. And roll to one side. Head supported. And then coming up. And may your practice help bring you peace, space, and light. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found that interesting, and yeah, happy you're working on those glutes and releasing what needs to release. If you have any questions, always happy to hear from you, so just put me an email, contact me.